Hey guys, Luna here with a new video, and as you can see, I cut my hair. Finally. What? You want to know how my hair was before? I guess you're gonna have to watch another video on this channel and like the video. And subscribe to the channel. But after this video. This video was going to be amazing. I mean, it was going to be me talking about Revolver and Sgt. Pepper's and deciding which one is best, which album is the greatest. You know, it sounded so good. I would have had so much fun doing that video, but I decided that I was going to do this video instead because lately my boy Kanye has been getting a lot of hate. And that hate has affected his music. I mean, I'm pretty sure that after this controversy, this artist only receive more people, like more audience, you know, because internet forgets everything, you know. Things blow up for like 3 months and then everyone just forgets about all that has happened, and you know, everyone's cool with everybody. You know, it's happened with Logan Paul, it's happened with people like KSI, PewDiePie. I mean, everyone who has a controversy on the internet, they just wait like 6 months and then all is solved. It's just that now they have more views. Look at James Charles, for example. I remember that he had a problem with a woman in the beauty community. I don't remember his name, but the thing is that a lot of people were unsubscribing from his channel. I remember that he dropped like 2 million subscribers, and then all of a sudden, months later, they went back up. You know, it's just ridiculous. They never seem to be affected by any of these situations. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. The whole point of this video was basically talking about all of the reasons why people hate Kanye West. Maybe you don't know, but Kanye West is probably the most hated person in the music industry that has never been accused of rape or anything like that. You know, people just hate him for his attitude and for things that he has done. No one really has a clear reason to hate on Kanye. It's basically only because of the way that he is. I don't really disagree with these people. I wouldn't really like to have a friend like Kanye. You know, he's really egotistical. I think he must be humbled by someone. I believe that he thinks he's the greatest thing in the world. And of course, you must always have confidence in yourself and have a big pride. But when that pride turns into thinking that other people are just pieces of shit compared to you, I believe that's the point where you have to stop. But I want to make it clear, I'm not here to talk about personal problems, you know, the things that he's going through right now with her daughter and Kim, or the other guy, I don't know, the comedian. I don't know his name. I know he's really popular, but I can't really remember his name. I'm here to talk about Kanye as an artist, as a producer, as a singer, as a rapper. You know, I'm here to talk about the reasons why people hate his music, not him as a person. I don't really give a fuck about the reasons you may or may not have to hate on Kanye. He's not a friend of mine. I don't really give a fuck. But I am a pretty big fan of his work. I mean, he's not the greatest rapper ever or anything like that, but I've enjoyed many of the albums that he released past decade. For example, Life of Pablo, I think it was a really good album. I liked Ye, I liked Jesus, I like Jesus is King. I think it's, you know, it's decent. And of course, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Everyone fucking loves that album. I don't think it's, you know, that big of a deal. But anyway, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I did a video on Coldplay, on why people hate Coldplay and why people don't like his music. And most of the arguments are about, you know, Coldplay as an artist, as a band, about their music. Instead of Kanye, I feel like a lot of the criticism its music gets, it's basically just, why don't you like Kanye? Well, because he's an idiot. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that people jumped into this video with the right reasons. You know, I know the title may be a little bit misleading, but here we're talking about Kanye's music, not about his wife or the things he might be going through with his family. So yeah, only about the music. With that being said, I know this is being quite a long intro, but just fuck up and enjoy. This is only my personal opinion, so if you have your own, leave it down below in the comments. I'll make sure to check it out and respond. And yeah, let's just go on with the first argument. I'm not really sure how I'm going to name this in the video when I edit it. Probably I'm just going to place experimentation on the screen. Sometimes it happens with artists like Kanye who like to play a lot with the music, change his own style, try out new sounds, and, you know, try out new ways to write their songs. Sometimes these new experimentations that they try to bring to the table don't really work out, and we're left with a huge pile of shit, like it happened with Paul McCartney in 1980 with McCartney 2, like it happened with John Lennon with the Virgin albums, you know, 3 releases with Jono Oko that were really just disastrous. Like it happened with Bob Dylan through the 80s, and like it happened with David Bowie through the 90s. You know, all this amazing artists have gone through this point where they don't really know how to evolve as artists. Many people quote that Kanye's recent albums are just met with a lot of new ideas that are just thrown out there for him to show the people that, yes, I'm still doing something new, I haven't sell out, you know, I'm still at it. But basically these new sounds just don't make sense, they're all over the place, and he just put them to say that he's an experimental artist, that he's not like the rest, etc, etc. With this point in particular, I cannot agree. I mean, Kanye has proven time and time again that he fully commits with the experimentations that he tries on his music. Now, I could perfectly agree with you that these experimentations often don't work out the way they should. But even if I am willing to say this, it's only in numbered cases when this happens. Even albums like The Life of Pablo, albums that are really messy and don't really make sense in terms of a track list, you know, in terms of an album. The problem was more than anything with the songwriting, really, and the way the album was produced. And you get a lot of examples like the track Famous, Father Stretch My Hands, songs that, you know, are not usual Kanye, but work really well. And by the way, Kanye has never been this experimental artist who everyone just waits for him to drop something to see what new ideas he came up with. I don't think that's the case. Artists like Kendrick Lamar, Tyler the Creator, JPEG Mafia, they have showed way more ways to play with hip-hop music, you know, with urban music, to modify it and make it something completely different. So yeah, I don't agree with this argument. I believe that most of the times that Kanye tries to do something new, he completely commits to it and he does it really well. We've seen it countless times in that collaboration with Kid Cudi. We've seen it in albums like Ye, and now with Donda, where he tries some new sounds, and you know, for me it works out well, even if the album isn't all that great. But what are you gonna do? This is one that I can agree with. A lot of young people like me don't seem to remember, but Kanye was kind of a big deal before the Kardashians. And maybe what I'm saying is fucking obvious to someone who's like 28 years old, you know, but to us, people who have seen the current Kanye, we quickly relate him to, you know, the Kardashians, Kim Kardashian, you know, all of his controversies. But before that, he was a really inconsequential artist who released great music. It's pretty much obvious. It doesn't matter who you ask. This version of Kanye is way better than the one we get right now. And this is not a hot take. This is not something that I'm saying just because of nostalgia. I wasn't a Kanye West fan back in the day. But it's obvious that the quality of those albums were way better because he was only focused on the music. We didn't really have social media, and artists didn't make their albums around the influence of social media as we see today. And maybe we don't get to see this, but just think about the songs that have been more popular since the beginning of the decade, you know, with YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Vine back in the day, Snapchat, you know. It seems like many of the songs just focus around being on trending. And you know, being on trending doesn't mean the same thing now that it meant back in the day. Being on trending back in the day is that you were on a TV show, you were on Oprah, you were on a magazine. The Rolling Stones magazine published you in their cover. But now it means that you have a hashtag that many people are tweeting in, that you have a song that smashed it on TikTok, that you had a YouTube video that had hundreds of millions of views and even billions of views. That's what being trendy is now. So the problem is that Kanye often tries with his music to be trendy, and he does this in many of the cases with its lyrics. In a song that I quoted before on this video, Famous, song from The Life of Pablo, 2016, Taylor delivers a line where he says that he could have sex with Taylor Swift because he made her famous. Fuck you if you say that, you know, beefs have existed for years and years in the past. Now, beefs exist more than ever because now they become trendy. They trend on social media, they trend everywhere around the world. And actually, let me tell you that half of the sales that Donda had was because of the whole bullshit with Drake. And the same thing for Certified Lover Boy. That has affected Kanye's lyrics by a whole lot. You get songs like Father Stretch My Hands, a great beat, just an amazing production delivered on that song, and then all of a sudden Kanye jumps in and talk about how this model bleached her asshole, so if he bleaches his t-shirt, he's gonna feel like an asshole, something like that. I don't remember the lyrics exactly. I'm gonna put it right here so you can see, although I don't know. Can I put that right now? I don't know. I will. So yes, I totally agree with this argument because Kanye's lyrics are often so fucking stupid, pretentious, egotistical that it's almost impossible to ignore them. Most of the best lyrics in Kanye West albums in recent times come from features. And in Donda he kind of fixes this issue. Donda has some pretty sick lines from Kanye. And if you want to criticize his lyrics, because I've done it, I've tweeted about these things, I have a Twitter account and I often talk about it, I often respond to people on Twitter and, have conversations about music. If you ever dare to criticize Kanye, in regards to his lyrics and things that he says, people are just basically going to tell you that you didn't understand.
You cannot understand the mind of such a genius like Kanye.
That is an argument that often people do while defending Kanye.
You just don't understand. He's an elevated being. The lyrics that he's saying in that song are meant to have deeper meanings that you just can't understand.
Really? Fuck you! I totally agree with this comment. Kanye's lyrics in recent times are just a piece of shit. Ever since My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, his lyrics I don't understand what he's saying, and when I do, I don't like it. So I totally agree with this comment. I know that I said at the beginning of this video that I wasn't really going to talk about his personal issues with his family and stuff like that. But I just can't avoid it because Kanye is one of those artists who suffers a lot from its controversies. I'm not specifically going to talk about, the controversies and all of that. I don't really give a fuck, and most of the time I don't even know what's going on with him. Let me tell you something that might be kind of a hot take. I don't know, depends on who listens to it. Ever since My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, every album that Kanye has released gets a complete rejection when they are released, and then all of a sudden 2-3 years later or even months later they get a review, or people just kind of look back on the album, oh, this is actually quite a masterpiece. It has happened with almost every single album, and one of the most despicable parts of this, it's that the magazines and the people who said they were a piece of shit when they were released don't really say something like the truth. Well, the reasons why we said that this album was actually a piece of shit when it was released is because we knew that Kanye is a controversial figure. Therefore, if we shit on the album, we will get a lot of visits and likes on our page and a lot of people who just empathize with us. Thank you very much. No, that's not what they say. They go around to say some shit like,
hey, well, the thing is that, music has changed a lot in this past 2 months. So that's the reason why back in the day we didn't really like it. Come on, guys. Now it's good. Now the music industry has changed and now we like the album. Thank you very much for listening to our review.
Fuck you. Bro, seriously, look it up. It happened with The Life of Pablo. Everyone thought the album was a piece of shit at the beginning because of the problem Kanye had with Taylor. And then all of a sudden, 3, 4, 5 months later, after the whole thing happened,
oh, the album is actually just great. Maybe we didn't look at the album in the right way. Perhaps our vision has changed.
Fuck you. And listen, I'm not here to defend Kanye because most of the times I don't like how the dude acts. And actually, I don't think he's one of the best rappers in the world. I believe that he's a good artist. I like some of his albums, but I don't think his albums are at the top of the cream or anything like that. The reasons why I'm saying that this is fucking annoying is that if you're going to say that an artist is bad, you actually do so because of the music. So I agree with this reason. I believe this is a huge reason why people hate Kanye, but I just don't approve it. Fuck you if you do this. So yeah, I believe that Kanye is a good artist, is a really talented person. Maybe he's not the best person in the world, but as long as he delivers good music and he doesn't do harm to anyone intentionally, I don't give a fuck about what may happen to him in his private life. He'll solve it. He's an adult, and I just want more albums. Release more albums. Release Donda 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Dondas if possible, because I want more music from you, because there are some albums that I really enjoy. Donda was a good album. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was a good album. The College Dropout was an amazing album. So I want more things like that. Anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. Sorry if I got a little heated by the end of the video. I just fucking hate when things that doesn't really have anything to do with music affect music. But I really hope that you enjoyed it. Obviously, remember, this is only my personal opinion, so if you have your own, you can leave it down below in the comments, and I'll make sure to reply to your comment and give you my own opinion on your opinion. How about that? If you like this video, then remember to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos coming up. That will be it for today, guys, and I hope I can see you again soon with a new video. Bye.